I recognize the gentleman from Delaware, and he can yield you time if you need additional time.
I'd like to, you make some very strong claims. I'd like to see the data. We, I think, need to see the information, the empirical data. I have a lot of sympathy. No, not.
Will the gentleman yield?
Not till I make my opening comment.
Oh, sure, sure. Go right ahead.
Which is, I have a lot of sympathy for the people who have written you, contacted your office, the gentleman from Illinois, Michigan, about his constituent and the very difficult time. But you said categorically that more people have been hurt than have been helped.
Yes.
And I just like, I mean, this debate is confusing enough, but if we have that data, I'd like to see it. How do we keep people in their homes, and do we need government assistance to do that? The fact of the matter is we need the private sector, in my view, the way I answer that question, is that we need the private sector primarily to do that. With government assistance. In my state in Delaware, the fact of the matter is that more people have been helped with this program than hurt.
Yeah.
HAMP, we had a state program that assisted with that we called DMAP, and not the number that we would have liked to get through that program did, because you don't want to, some of them are unsalvageable. You don't want to spend public money, frankly, on some of these folks that are in foreclosure too deep. But you want to assist people that you can, and you need all the tools to do it, both public and private. I'd be more than pleased if the vast majority, and the vast majority of the modifications, are done by the servicers.
Will the gentleman yield to that point?
Let me just finish this point. But some of the government programs, and this is one of them, have been successful in our state in getting servicers to do the modifications that for homeowners that could benefit from them. Well, not everybody's going to benefit. I will yield.
To your point, there have been 3.5 million proprietary modifications completed without HAMP in the private sector, and other workout plans, non-HAMP in the private sector, 6.5 million. In the same time frame we're talking about here.
The gentleman yield.
So the private sector is doing more than
right. I conclude that's a good thing.
The gentleman
that's
yield.
The way it should be. But that's not to say that there shouldn't be any government assistance or incentives at all. In fact, I've seen through HAMP and other public programs where that assistance has helped the private sector do its jobs. And when the private sector is doing its job, guess what? That takes off the burden on the taxpayer. The fundamental question, I think, is, which the gentleman from Michigan posed, was, does the government have a role? It's pretty clear that that side believes the government doesn't have a role to help people that find, through no fault of their own, in so many cases, not all cases, to find themselves facing foreclosure. My state, more than 3 times the norm, and we're not even one of the worst hit states. So I think it's just, and by the way, the Treasury, Chairman of the Fed, all sat here and testified that it is not a good idea at this point in time, given the whole range of economic circumstances, to terminate these programs. They're not going to be all effective, and they're not going to be effective for every homeowner by definition, because everybody's in different financial situations. I would yield back to the chair.